really fun to listen to. Okay, so you've all successfully created your first beam. And what I'm going to do at this point is show you another way to kind of create multiples with slight variations. The gumball is like hugely valuable for this kind of thing. There are two commands that you must know about. It's move edge, move face. Well, I guess it's like one command, but it's like two versions of the same thing. And the gumball just has all these really cool hotkeys that are going to save you a ton of time here and there. So what I first want to show you is how the gumball works on the object, and then we'll talk about the actual functions. For those of you who didn't know this, just a recap, double-click the view name to enlarge it, and double-click it again to reduce it back to the for-view thing. Just another pro tip. But anyway, so this thing is an object, and when I click it, the object turns yellow when it gets selected. The gumball is this thingy, this red, blue, and green axis and plane and revolving apparatus. If it doesn't show up when you click on an object, it means your gumball feature is not turned on. So go down to the bottom and click on gumball, and it should pop on. So the way that this works is they're essentially just like, you all pretty much know the term hotkey. This is like a hot grab bar, right? Like you can just grab the thing and move it up, move it over, move it back, down. Wherever you want to move it, you can move it. You can also grab these to rotate it. Whatever direction you need to rotate it. And you can also, I actually don't really use these very much, so I don't know how to describe them properly. But this will kind of reorient the gumball, I think, to where it is or something like that. I don't know. The important ones are the axes that you can grab and the rotators. They're huge. So what I did was I clicked and I dragged, but the other thing that you can do is actually just click it once and then type in a value for it to move in that direction. So if I want it to go 1 foot up, then it goes 1 foot up. If I want it to go 1 foot, 5 feet down, I type in -5 feet, right? Because this is all Cartesian coordinate system based software. So what I'm getting at here is that this is a really awesome way of just pushing and pulling certain things if you know your numerical system or logic behind what you're doing or the process. So the hotkey that I want to introduce you to first is the Alt button. If you hold Alt and you click and drag, see that little plus sign that shows up? That makes a duplicate when I release. And I can do that twice. Instead of typing in the copy command and then click and click and click, I could just Alt, drag, and I've got them both. The other thing that I wanted to get at is this idea of the logic of the thing, right? So I know that these beams are going to increase in size by 2 inches for in its width, right? And then it's going to increase in height by 4 inches each time. So, or was it 4 inches? So it was 8 inches, and then 12 inches, and then 16, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So so let me quickly make it a shaded view so you can see a little better what's happening. Up in the display tab, you can click on this one to make this a shaded viewport. Left click, and it turns on. So what I'm going to do is grab a specific face of this object, and then I'm going to move the face a certain direction, and it's going to stretch the thing a certain dimension. So when I want to grab a face, I hit Control Shift and then click on the face that I want to grab. And the reason I made it shaded is because it's easier than, it's easier than when it's wireframe. If I Control Shift and I click in an empty space. Even though I know there's a face there, it won't grab it. So shaded view is a little easier. It's more sculptural. So Control Shift, click on the face, and it grabs it like that. Now I could just click and drag and pull this thing across and it makes it longer. Or I can, if I know that it's going to increase by 2 inches, click it and type in 2 inches. And then Control Shift on the next one, click it, type in 4 inches. So that gives me the proper increase in width. Now I need to do the top side. So Control Shift, click on the X or the Z axis, the blue axis, and that's going to go up 4 inches. So it's a positive 4 inches to go up. Control Shift, click again, and that goes up 8 inches. Okay. Any questions? Gumball is super cool, guys. Super duper cool. So anyway, I mentioned the term move face and move edge. So this is kind of the appropriate time to let you know that basically what you're doing there is exactly the same thing as the move face command. So if I was to type, and I'm just going to show you this for illustrative purposes, if I type in move face, right, or F, and then I hit enter, it's going to ask me to select a face, just like I did with the other thing. So I select that face, hit enter, and it says the point to move from, which I'll put here, and then the point to, and the to point, or the point to move to, which is going to be, I'm going to exaggerate this, and I'm going to say 10 inches, right? And then hold shift, and it'll go 10 inches out, right? Exactly the same thing, but the Gumball did it in like 3 clicks or keystrokes, you know, and this one did it in a lot. So, I don't know, 10, 15, whatever it was. So, this is what I mean by be thinking about your process. For those of you who are more experienced with Rhino, it's going to be easier for you. If you have less experience in Rhino, what I would urge you to do is continually, and well, this is for any of you at any time, continually be thinking about how do I do this better and faster. When I'm in a complex software package, like Revit, for instance, for those of you who know it, at work, every time I do something, I'm always asking if it's the best way to do it. And it kind of makes me the odd man out in the office because everyone hates me because I disrupt everyone's work by trying to figure out cooler ways of doing it. But it helps because it helps you to become more proficient in the software, and it saves you on headaches later. So be exploratory with this stuff. Okay? No questions? All right.